talked with Dale Jarrett that was one of the most exciting championship races we've ever seen. What's going through your mind right now is all I can ask you after that effort.
Let me thank my sponsors first. Aflac, Ford, Kellogg's, Subway, Scott, Sprint, all the fans. But this night is about Tony Stewart. Those guys rose to the occasion. They beat us fair and square. That is all I had at the end. My guys did a really good job. I mean, we came here with 7 pole. We led the most laps, and Tony still managed, him and Darian to do a good job with their strategy. Come out in front of us, and that's it. That's all I got at the end. That's as hard as I can drive. So I told my wife, if I can't win this thing, I'm gonna be the best loser NASCAR's ever had. So I'm gonna try really hard to keep my head up. And know that we'll just go next year. We're going to be just as hard to beat next year, just as hard the year after that. But I just hope everybody's proud of the way we performed and our effort. I appreciate everyone's support, all the folks that helped me get to this position. And I wish so bad we had that trophy, but it just wasn't meant to be tonight.
Carl, you've had to drive that hard multiple times in your career, but for 40 laps, looking at the target ahead of you. What was that like from the cockpit?
I mean, it was good because I could see what Tony was doing, and I mean, I tried all sorts of stuff, and I mean, that's as hard as I can drive that race car, and that's it. So, I said before this thing started, I'm going to give my best performance, and I'm going to be happy with that. I'm not quite happy with it, but this is what we got. We'll make the most of it, and I can tell you one thing: if we're in this position again next year, those guys better watch out, because that was a lot of work to stay calm and to stay focused and perform the best we can. I learned a ton.
And the patience. Great job. Valiant effort by Carl Edwards. Brings it home second in the points.
Reacting to Carl Edwards' thoughts, a valiant effort, but he has to be heartbroken.
Yeah, and it'll hit even more tomorrow and in weeks to come. But he's, just as he said, he did everything he possibly could. He just, unfortunately, ran into a buzzsaw with Tony Stewart and this race team and winning 5 races. Who thought it was going to happen?
Tony Stewart provides us our Goodyear winning moment. 5 wins in the 10 races in this chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup. The tiebreaker was wins on the season, and that was the difference between Stewart and Edwards after these 10 races.
And if that's not an emphasis on winning, I don't know what is.
Exactly right. Particularly over the last 3 weeks, these two raced for the lead, raced for the win in these races. Just tremendous.
Yeah, neither one of them ever finishing worse than 3rd in these last 3 weeks. Yeah. It's the first time in the history of the sport we've had a tie for the championship in points.
And Tony Stewart tonight, Carl Edwards talking about giving it all he had. Tony Stewart passed 76 cars in this race tonight.
He certainly earned it, didn't he?
Every time he got to the front, he got shuffled to the back. Tremendous gesture there by Carl.
That's a true champion right there.
Well, it's over tonight here at Homestead Miami Speedway, and truly a classic championship fight resulted in a truly classic championship finale where you had to win the race to win the title. Tony Stewart did it. Making his way to a familiar sight along the front stretch of this racetrack where twice before he celebrated winning a championship. Eddie Jarvis, Tony's longtime business manager.
They have a great relationship. It was the two of them that put this deal, made it happen, put it together, really took a chance in moving away from Joe Gibbs Racing to go start and make this race team work.
And you see the scene in Victory Lane presented by Napa as the liquids begin to flow.